Fixing crawl errors in Google Search Console. Hey, have you checked our Google Search Console recently?
Not really. Why? What's up?
We've got some crawl errors showing up there. It looks like Google is having trouble accessing certain pages on our site.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good. What kind of errors are we talking about?
Mostly 404 errors, pages that Google is trying to reach but can't find. For example, some old product pages that we've removed but Google is still trying to crawl.
Ah, I see. That's common when we change URLs or delete pages without redirecting them properly. We should set up 301 redirects for those old URLs to relevant pages or to our home page.
Exactly. It's important because these errors can affect our site's visibility and search results. Plus, it's bad for user experience if someone clicks on a search result and lands on a 404 page.
Makes sense. What else are we seeing?
There are also some server errors, like 500 or 503 errors. These happen when our server is having trouble responding to requests from Googlebot.
We should check our server logs to see what's causing those errors. It could be a temporary issue or something more serious.
Definitely. Resolving these server errors quickly is important to ensure Google can crawl and index our site properly.
Should we mark these errors as fixed in Search Console once we've resolved them?
Yes, absolutely. Once we've implemented the necessary fixes, like setting up redirects or resolving server issues, we can mark them as fixed in Search Console. Google will then recrawl those URLs and update its index.
Got it. Let's prioritize fixing these crawl errors so our site can perform better in search results.
Agreed. I'll start working on the redirects now, and you can look into the server errors. Sound good?
Perfect. Let's get this sorted out. Fixing index coverage issues in Google Search Console. Hey, have you checked our Google Search Console lately?
Yeah, I took a look earlier. We've got quite a few index coverage issues showing up there.
That doesn't sound good. What kind of issues are we dealing with?
Mostly submitted URL not indexed errors. It seems like Google is having trouble crawling and indexing some of our pages.
Any specific examples?
Yeah, for instance, some of our important product pages are showing up as submitted but not indexed. It looks like Google hasn't included them in the search results even though they should be.
That's concerning. What could be causing this issue?
It could be a few things. Sometimes it's because the page is blocked by robots.txt, or maybe there's an index tag accidentally added to those pages.
Right, those are common issues. We should check our robots.txt file to make sure we're not blocking any important pages unintentionally.
Absolutely. And we should also review the meta tags on those pages to ensure there's no noindex directive preventing Google from indexing them.
Good point. Once we fix these issues, do we just wait for Google to recrawl the pages?
Yes, typically Google will recrawl the pages automatically once the issues are resolved. We can monitor the status in Search Console and see when they are successfully indexed.
Should we request indexing for these pages after making the fixes?
It's a good idea for critical pages that need to be indexed quickly. We can use the URL inspection tool in Search Console to request indexing once we're confident the issues are resolved.
Alright, let's get started on fixing these index coverage issues right away. I'll take a look at the robots.txt and meta tags, and you can start monitoring the changes in Search Console.
Sounds like a plan. Let's make sure our important pages are properly indexed and showing up in search results again.
Fixing structured data errors in Google Search Console.
Hey, have you checked our Google Search Console recently?
Yes, I noticed there are some structured data errors showing up. It seems Google is having trouble understanding our markup.
That's not good. What kind of errors are we seeing?
Mostly missing field errors. For example, on our product pages, Google is saying that some required fields like price or availability are missing.
Ah, I see. Those are crucial for rich snippets in search results. We need to ensure all required fields are properly marked up.
Exactly. Also, there are some validation errors like incorrect data types. For instance, some dates are formatted incorrectly or some numbers are not in the expected format.
That could confuse Google's algorithms. How do we go about fixing these errors?
First, We should review the structured data markup on our pages. We can use the structured data testing tool to identify specific errors and warnings.
Once we identify the errors, do we need to update the markup directly on our site?
Yes, we'll need to correct the markup in the HTML of our pages. It might involve updating some LD scripts or microdata within the HTML.
Got it. After we make the changes, do we need to do anything in Search Console?
We should validate the fixes by retesting the affected URLs using the URL inspection tool in Search Console. This will confirm that Google can now parse the structured data correctly.
Should we request a rate crawl for these pages after fixing the errors?
It's not necessary for structured data errors specifically. Google will recrawl the pages periodically and update the structured data in its index.
Alright, let's start by reviewing and correcting the structured data errors. I'll work on updating the markup, and you can check the validation in Search Console afterward.
Sounds like a plan. Let's ensure our structured data is accurate so that Google can display rich results correctly for our pages. Fixing mobile usability issues in Google Search Console. Hey, have you looked at our Google Search Console recently? Yeah, I checked it out earlier today. We seem to have some mobile usability issues showing up there. Oh no, what kind of issues are we dealing with? It looks like Google is flagging several pages for issues like clickable elements too close together and text too small to read. That doesn't sound good. Those are critical for mobile user experience. Do we have specific examples? Yeah, for example, on our product pages, some buttons are too close together, making it hard for users to tap on them accurately. Also, some text blocks are too small and might require zooming in to read properly. Right, those are definitely issues we need to address. How do we go about fixing them? We should start by identifying the specific pages and elements that Google is flagging. We can use the mobile usability report in Search Console for a detailed view. Once we identify the issues, do we need to make changes directly on our site? Yes, we'll need to make adjustments to the design and layout of those pages. For instance, increasing the spacing between clickable elements and ensuring text sizes are appropriate for mobile users. After we make these changes, do we mark them as fixed in Search Console? Yes. Once we've implemented the fixes, we can validate them using the mobile-friendly test tool in Search Console or by rate-checking the mobile usability report. If Google detects that the issues are resolved, we can mark them as fixed. Should we monitor these pages regularly to ensure no new issues arise? Absolutely. Mobile usability is crucial for SEO and user experience. We should continue to monitor and address any new issues that may come up. Alright, let's prioritize fixing these mobile usability issues. I'll start reviewing the affected pages and making adjustments. Could you keep an eye on the validation in Search Console? Sounds like a plan. Let's ensure our site is fully optimized for mobile users so we can provide a seamless experience across all devices. Fixing security issues in Google Search Console. Hey, have you checked our Google Search Console lately?
Not recently. Why? What's going on?
We've got some security issues popping up there. Google is flagging potential security vulnerabilities on our site.
Oh, that's concerning. What kind of security issues are we talking about?
Mostly hacked content and malware warnings. It seems like Google has detected some suspicious activity on certain pages.
Yikes, that needs immediate attention. Do we have specific examples of where this is happening?
Yeah, for example, some of our blog posts seem to have been injected with malicious code, and Google is warning users about potential risks.
That's not good for our reputation or SEO. How do we go about fixing these security issues?
First, we need to identify and remove any malicious code or content from our site. We should scan our files and database thoroughly for any signs of compromise.
Should we also check for vulnerabilities that hackers might have exploited?
Absolutely. We should update all plugins, themes, and software to the latest versions to patch any security holes. Also, strengthening our website's security measures like using strong passwords and enabling two-factor authentication is crucial.
After we clean up the site, Do we need to notify Google or do anything in Search Console?
Yes, once we've removed the malicious content and secured our site, we should request a review in Search Console. Google will then recrawl the affected pages to verify that the security issues have been resolved.
Should we expect our rankings to recover immediately after fixing these issues?
It may take some time. Google will need to reassess our site's trustworthiness and security before fully restoring our rankings. Monitoring the security issues report in Search Console will help us ensure no new issues arise.
Alright, let's act quickly to clean up the site and secure it properly. I'll start scanning and removing any suspicious content. Could you handle the review request in Search Console afterward?
Sure thing. Let's make sure our site is safe and trustworthy for our users.
Fixing performance issues in Google Search Console.
Hey, have you checked our Google Search Console recently?
Yeah, I took a look earlier today. It seems like we have some performance issues showing up there.
What kind of performance issues are we talking about?
Mostly related to page speed. Google is flagging several pages for being slow to load.
Ah, that's not good for user experience or SEO. Do we have specific examples of slow loading pages?
Yeah, for example, our homepage and some product category pages are taking too long to load according to Google's metrics.
How do we go about fixing these performance issues?
First, we should identify the factors causing the slowdown. We can use tools like Google Page Speed Insights or metrics to analyze the pages and get specific recommendations.
Once we identify the issues, do we need to make changes directly on our site?
Yes, we'll likely need to optimize images, leverage browser caching, minify CSS and JavaScript, and possibly consider upgrading our hosting if server response times are slow.
After we make these optimizations, do we need to do anything in Search Console?
We should monitor the improvements using the Core Web Vitals report and other performance reports in Search Console. If Google detects improvements in page speed, it can positively impact our site's ranking.
Should we expect immediate results in terms of improved rankings once we fix these issues?
It may take some time for Google to recrawl and reindex the pages after the improvements. However, faster loading pages generally lead to better user experience and could potentially improve our rankings over time.
Alright, let's prioritize fixing these performance issues. I'll start looking into the specific recommendations and making optimizations. Could you keep an eye on the performance reports in Search Console afterward?
Absolutely. Let's aim to provide a fast and seamless experience for our users across all our pages.